So we've got a question, write an expression for the area of these rectangles. Our first one, we've got the height is A and the base is B. And these are lengths. So these are the measurements, the lengths of the height and the base. So if we want the area of this rectangle, we've got A times B. That's just simply AB. Okay, so on this one, the height and the bottom is the same because they are both A. And because it's a regular shape, this is actually a square. So again, we've got A times A for the area. And a common mistake here is that people tend to put 2A. And that's not quite right, because 2A would be A plus A. Got two lots of A's there, that's 2A. So 2A is incorrect. So if we had, say, for example, we had 3 times 3, that is 9, as you know, but we can also write that as 3 squared. We times the number by itself. So similarly for A times A, we've just got A squared. So now we want the area of this rectangle. It's slightly harder, but again the area will be 2A times base, which is 6B. We can kind of write this in a different way. We can write 2A, well that's just saying 2 lots of A. So we can do 2 times A, that's 2 lots of A. Times is still there, and this is 6B, that's 6 lots of B. So you've got 6 times B. And this here is what we call commutative. And all that means is you can do it in any order. So if we had something like 5 times 17 times 2, well, instead of doing 5 times 17 first, which is a bit harder, you can do 5 times 2 first. 5 times 2, and then 10 to 17. So that's a lot easier. That's 5 times 2 is 10, and 10 times 17. That's a lot easier than doing 5 times 17 first. So in this case, we can do the numbers that we know first. We've got 2 here, times by this 6. So we've got 2 times 6 is 12. Then we've got this A left over, so times that by A, times that by this B, and we can write that as 12AB. A common mistake here that people would usually do is they would do 2A times 6B, and then they would add these two numbers. So they would get 2 plus 6 is 8, and then put on the AB at the end. And that's not right. Okay, so now we've got the height of a tree is 70 centimeters. It grows 5 centimeters each month. Give a formula for the height h of the tree m months from now. Okay, so now we want a formula for the height. So we want h is equal to something. So if I draw a quick diagram of a tree, like that, and this tree is currently 70 centimeters tall, 70, and m months down the line it will grow 5 centimeters per month, so that's 5 times m, and we can say that's 5m. Okay, so the height of the tree is going to be h, so the height is going to be this 70 plus this 5m. That's the height. So the formula we want is h is equal to 70, because it's already 70 centimeters, plus this 5m. And m is just the unknown number of months. And that's our answer. So on this question, we've got John, an electrician. He charges £15 for each hour he works, and on top of that, an extra £30. So A, John charges a customer £105. How many hours did he work? Okay, so we know John works some amount of hours plus an extra £30. So he charges some amount of hours of work plus 30, which is 105. Okay? And we know for each hour he charges £15. So this would be some number times by 15 plus 30 is equal to 105. Okay? So now we've got 105 minus this 30. That leaves us with 75. And now we can ask ourselves, how many 15s go into 75? Well, we've got
15, 30, 45, 60, 75.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 15s go into 75. So 75 divided by 15 is equal to 5. So he works 5 hours. Okay, so now we've got part B. John works H hours for a job and charges P pounds. Write a formula for P in terms of H. Okay, so if you want to write a formula for P in terms of H, then we want it to be something like P equals something. So we know for sure that for whatever job he does, John will charge an extra £30. That's always going to be there. So his price, P, will always be 30 plus how many ever hours he works. So plus £15 per hour. So we'll still charge £15 per hour. So that means it'll be 15 times H, which is the number of hours he would work. So we've got 30, and we can just combine these two together, so it's 15H. So the price, P pounds, will be 30 plus 15H. Or you can say 15H plus 30. It's the same thing.